This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Here's one from Kurt. He wants to know, in any of your jobs in the business, did you ever handle booking venues? I've always been curious how much an arena or stadium in a city like Dallas or Chicago would cost in various eras. Everyone talks about Madison Square Garden being so expensive. Any idea how much it is to rent?
Well, I know in the Garden, we did Raw there many times, sell out many times. And at the end of the day, you lost money.
It's hard to believe.
You have to recalibrate things when you're doing sellout business and you're losing money. And that was due to not only the cost of the venue, but the union costs. You know, you couldn't touch a chair. You couldn't do anything. The union had to do everything, and they charged the hell out of you. But I've never done booking buildings in any of my travels. Don't say as I missed that opportunity, you know, and Cowboy did a lot of the booking of the buildings, but there it was a little easier because you ran a territory and the same cities ran on the same days. So that was kind of easy to figure out. The routing was pretty consistent. So in New Orleans always ran on Thursdays. So we had like 3 buildings in New Orleans that we could run on Thursdays. So no, I don't think, I just don't believe that would have been, there's a lot of difference there in the sense that it was a different model. It's a different business model, but I never had that opportunity, you know. And Crockett, Jimmy did a lot of that stuff. Gary Jester was very valuable in that area. Cowboy and Jack Curtis did a lot of that stuff. The late Jack Curtis did a lot of that stuff in Mid-South. WCW had, like I said, had Jimmy and Gary Jester. And then they hired Don Glass and some other guys that was their area. And of course, in WWE, the great Ed Cohen was your building man and very good at it. Ed was very involved in the association of building managers and so forth. So I never did that. Thank God. I screwed up enough things. I screwed up that up too. So anyway, it was good. It was good the way that worked out. And I'm glad I didn't have that chore, but we always had good people that did that chore. It's a full-time job. It really is a full-time job, babysitting and booking these buildings. In AEW now, we have Raphael Morphy. And Raphael does a terrific job of managing that aspect. You know, Raphael's the one thought of and got the Arthur Ashe Center. Raphael does all the building bookings and the routing. And after over a decade in WWE, which is where I got to know Raphael very well, he was the lead market rep. Even though Ed Cohen booked the buildings, Raphael ran a lot of the live events and TV shoots and pay-per-views. So we're very lucky in AEW right now to have Raphael on the team, in my opinion. And he's very trustworthy, very reliable, and he's got great skills. So that's how that works out. But it's a full-time gig, and if you're going to do something else, you got to multitask. But nothing can take priority over how you book buildings. I mean, I've talked to him about where we're going in January and in the spring of 2022 and all those things. But just in conversation, not if he asks a question and wants a suggestion, I'm happy to provide that. But bottom line, this is Raphael's baby. He works very closely with Tony Khan, and they work well together. So far so good with that. But no, I was never involved in that area of the business, and I'm happy that I wasn't.
Interesting question here from Chaz Green. Hey, JR, fans know commentators are supposed to look at the monitor when calling a match, as they're trying to call what the television audience is seeing. But when your announce table gets destroyed through a match, do you immediately just revert to calling what you see right in front of you at that point? Or is there a backup monitor?
There's usually 3 monitors at the table. Hopefully you got one of them working that you can actually lay eyes on. But other than that, you you watch the ring at that point. So yeah, you still got to be focused on the action. However you can obtain that visual is what you can do. It depends on the scenario. So, but there's usually a monitor someplace there where you get a peek at. And then you got a director a producer in the truck. In my case, it was Kevin Dunn all those years.
Right.
They lead you along. They help you out, tell you where you are and what we're seeing. But you got to commentate what the home audience is seeing so you can explain and continue to tell your stories that are, again, that's the one thing I used to, even on Raw or when I would occasionally watch Nitro, sometimes they were talking about things that were completely disconnected from what we were seeing. And I find that to be a major pet peeve in pro wrestling commentary, where you're talking backstory and this and that, and you're ignoring some great athletic moves because you know it's a work. You know it's not the finish. So you let the people into a scenario that they don't necessarily want to be in, but your commentary has led them to that. So, but yeah, the monitors are crucial, highly crucial in what you're calling to make it accurate and make it good.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.